Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ajit. I think this will be very interesting session. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you. So this will be an interesting session. In fact, I have taken one session for a previous class of medical writing. So in which we just touched upon like how you can prepare, in advance for your interview, right? What is the homework that they can do? So this will give them a glimpse of what happens in an interview, and then how they can make themselves ready for the same, right? Because preparation is important. Even if I am coming for this class today, I have invested for some time, that's natural. So even if you're going for a preparation for an interview, preparation is must. It's a key. It's a basic thing. So I think we can start. What we'll do is that first we can have our mock interview session. After that, you can also share your feedback and student can ask the questions. We will tell them like, okay, what went good, what went wrong, and what they can improvise, right? So
I'll be, first go with my introduction, and then, we'll go with our other panelist, and then we'll start the session. So, Dr.
yes.
Ajit, I'm Dr. Ajit, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of CliMed Research Solutions, guys. And, we'll be taking the interview of Sri Ramya along with our panelist, Sarab Sidhuji. She is our mentor. And you know all, she is the clinical trial transparency manager at GSK. So welcome, Sarabji, to the panel, and let's start.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Ajit, for introducing me. I think we can call her, Ramya for an interview, mock interview.
Yes, sir. Sorry, yes, ma'am.
Hi, Ramya, how are you?
Hi, ma'am. I'm fine, ma'am. How are you?
Good. So, as Dr. Ajit already introduced himself, right? And you also know me. Myself is Sarabjit Sidhu, and I work at GSK, right? And I also authored one book. So today we are meeting for a mock interview for a medical writing process.
Yes.
So may I request you to introduce yourself? So
yes, ma'am. Shall I start?
Yeah, of course.
Good evening, everyone. And good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. First of all, thank you for providing me the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Sri Ramya Jyoti, and I am from Andhra Pradesh. I have been recently graduated with honors in PharmD in the month of July 2022. And I have completed my internship in clinical pharmacy department at Aster Prime Hospitals in Hyderabad. And currently I have been looking for the opportunity to take my career path in medical writing and scientific writing. And I'm usually the candidate who puts interest in writing and drafting the articles, research papers and review papers. And my core strengths to be a medical writer is that I am a dedicated and extremely hardworking person who puts 100% effort in making a good research paper or a good review paper. And my weakness is that a little self-criticism and a little overthinking, and which I have been trying to overcome. And this is my brief introduction, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ramya. Thank you so much. It's good to know you. And, just make yourself comfortable, right? So, if I like to ask you a question, based on like you have very good academic record that you shared, and you also shared that you like, to draft an article, or you have an inclination to writing. That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that's one thing, and I just wanted to understand, like you have invested quite a time in your academics, right? And so is there any experience in your life that you feel like, it is a challenging experience? It was a challenging or a difficult situation right? And how you braved that, how you overcome that experience.
Yes, ma'am. The most challenging experience I've ever faced is the chaos and the crisis that has happened in the pandemic of COVID-19 second wave. As my family gone through a lot of hardships, as my father has been admitted, and we have faced a lot of crisis for a hospital bed, oxygen requirement, and getting a hospital bed in the hospital is really a lucky thing and a blessing. And I've seen a lot of deaths that has happened through my eyes at the hospital, and putting my father there and trying to be positive is the most difficult thing I've ever faced ever. And I hope to God that that kind of situation should not be faced by anyone from now. That's the most hardship I've ever felt.
Agree with you, and just wanted to, in continuation with this, like, what kept you motivated during this time? We all have our own way of navigating through the situation, right? What, like you told, like your father was, you were not getting a bed. It's so difficult to see your family, in a hard situation in front of your eyes. But same time, you try to make every effort to give them a comfort, right? So what motivated you, and what are the solutions you tried during that difficult time?
What motivated me is first the
Not
responsibility.
motivated, just kept positive. Kept
Yes,
you
ma'am.
going.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What kept me going is that the responsibility I have to handle. I have to take the responsibility to take care of my father and my mother at my home, and keeping them updating about my father's condition, being there and coming to my home and staying there at the hospital and updating everyone, consulting doctors and everyone. The responsibility I have towards my family is what kept me going and made me to think positive in that kind of hard situation, ma'am.
Correct. So that's a good way to look at any situation. We all have our share of responsibilities, right?
Yes.
So another thing is that if I wanted to, know your personality, what you would like to do in your available time apart from studies and technical things, what you like, how you spend your free time.
I took up the hobby of fictional story writing a year ago, and I've taken a course in creative writing, and I usually write short stories, fiction. And one of my story has also been published last year. That has happened last year. And writing some fiction keeps me makes me smile after reading my own story. And this is the interest I have apart from my academics.
So that's really good to know. And we all have also situation is like we don't like sometimes some subject that doesn't align to our interest. So how you push yourself, right, to study that subject during academy, or you pushed yourself to be real, to work hard for that subject as well, which it's not of your interest at all.
I usually try to take some interest from any corner of the subject. Like, for example, what the subject which I felt very difficult and of less interest is medicinal chemistry. And all the structures, SARs and everything usually is not my cup of tea. Organic chemistry and all, to be frank. And I used to talk to my professor at that time, that she used to make us more into the subject. Like it's actually fun if we look it into from a basic thing like from biochemistry and medicinal chemistry and everything. And she used to tell us a lot of uses of applications of the medicinal chemistry in pharmaceutical industry. So those words from her usually keeps me take interest in such kind of subjects. There is also some uses of such kind of subjects. So those likewise I used to take interest and used to study in the difficult subjects now.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So if I just wanted to understand from you, like, what is the clinical trial process? Can you brief about it? What is the clinical trial process?
Okay, ma'am. The clinical trial process usually comprises of a lot of steps. First step is the drug discovery and the concept to develop the idea. From the drug discovery to developing the concept, and then preclinical stage, and then going to the IND application, and then phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 trials, and then next to the new drug application, and then post-marketing surveillance. In between, there are a lot of steps and procedures for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. This is the like outline of the clinical trial.
Yeah. So if I wanted to understand from you, like, which phase 1, you talked about rightly about the phases of clinical trial, correct?
Yes.
So if you wanted to say, like, which phase out of 1, 2, 3 signifies, to test just safety. So
Safety, I guess it's phase 1, ma'am, because the from the preclinical phase, if the drug is safe, then only it moves to the next phase. I'm guessing it's phase 1 and phase 2, and from phase 2 it will be efficacy, whether the drug is effective or not, other than the safety parameter.
Yeah. So once the drug is in the market, do we look into it, or we just leave it there only, or is it watched, or someone is watching it, or not? Like, once the drug is in the market, will it be regulated or not?
It will be regulated, ma'am. All the safety and efficacy parameters will be regulated throughout the post-marketing surveillance also.
Right. So, what you understand by ICH GCP, and and from your perspective, do you think that it is needed? Why it is needed? So,
it is indeed necessary. ICH and GCP guidelines. The main aim is to protect the rights and well-being and safety of the study participants in the study. And in order to conduct a trial with a specific standard like good clinical practices is essential to get the accurate results and the fruit of the study. Like to get the complete 100% result, we need to have a standard according to which the study should be performed.
Yeah. So I just that's correct answer, and I also want to know from you is that what is the objective, like, with which ICH GCP was initiated, why it was founded,
Okay, the main objective is to protect the rights, safety and well-being of the study participants, and to anticipate the risk and benefits ratio throughout the study for the subjects.
Okay, fair. I'll take that. And so, and can you name any 5 principles out of 13 GCP principles? Any 5 principles those are in your mind?
Yes, ma'am. First of all is ethics. To adhere to the ethics of the subjects, and to maintain the confidentiality of the subject in the clinical trial, and to have information on the medicinal product, and to have good manufacturing practices, and to have the qualified physician and the study team in the clinical trial. Yes.
So how passionate you are about medical writing? What is, what is the key factor that is attracting you towards a medical writing?
The key factor which is that drafting the scientific documents. Firstly, it's medical writing. I think, in my own words, it's like a scientific storytelling, which enables communication to the target audience. Like it's not same for everyone, and it requires a lot of writing skills, communication skills, and determination towards drafting the good scientific document. And the thing which I'm more passionate is that we can communicate with through our writing through to the audience and to the study team. It's like a bridge between bridge of communication. The medical writing is a bridge of communication from research to the audience. This is what I feel. This is what is a good reason for me to pursue medical writing career.
Okay. So, Dr. Ajit, do you have any question for Ramya? Okay, we can proceed.
Oh, okay, so I would like, yeah. So, along with that, I would like to ask, as she was discussing about the PharmD project. So, Ramya, I want to ask, what was your PharmD project and what were the outcomes, if you can conclude briefly?
Yes, sir. My PharmD project, fifth year project, is about a retrospective study on febrile seizures in pediatric patients. The calculating the incidence and prevalence of febrile seizures in the pediatric patients. So we have took the retrospective data from a children's hospital of ages from months to 6 years of age, and we have estimated the incidence and prevalence of the febrile seizures, and we graphed out the results, and it shows that there has the children with less gestational age and birth weight and also the head circumferences. Taking these variables into consideration, we have performed descriptive and inferential statistics to provide the significant results, which conveys that these factors can be the risk for febrile seizures in the children. So this is the main aim, to find out what might be the reasons for the febrile seizures according to our protocol.
Okay, so what do you think your results were, somewhere near to national or international, prevalence and, the epidemiological parameters?
Actually, we haven't had a statistically significant results. So we have given few the few parameters, like gestational age has been the common reason for the febrile seizures in the children of that particular hospital. Yes. Did I answer your question correctly, sir? I'm not sure.
Okay. No, I was actually, my question was the. No, that's right. That's right. But my question was that the epidemiology of febrile seizure,
yes, sir,
in India and internationally is almost same. So what was the epidemiological parameters like the prevalence and incidences of your study? Was it matching with that, or it was lower or higher than that? I mean, nothing, not to tell about the exact number, but if you can tell us.
It's not exact the same with the national and international results of the epidemiology, sir. But it's near. It's nearby to the results. Yes.
Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. That's cool. You just talked about the inferential analysis. So
Yes.
what kind of tests are there in the inferential analysis? What are the analytical parts of the inferential analysis?
It's a chi-square test we have included in the inferential statistics to generate p-value for the significant results.
Okay.
Yes.
So related to that, we'll come to the medical writing questions.
Okay.
How did you manage the informed consent form in your patients? And what's the criteria? Because you were dealing with the pediatric patients.
Okay, it's a retrospective data, sir, firstly. And we took the data from the database of the hospital. And at that time, we are not aware to take the informed consent from each patient's parents. And we have approached the hospital, and they have given the permission with the NOC we gave through our university. So at that time, we are not aware to take the informed consent from the parents. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. But here, for everyone, who are here, in retrospective studies, we do not need the informed consent forms.
Okay.
It's an observational in nature.
Yes.
So you don't need.
We don't need informed consent forms.
Okay, sir.
Okay, we just need the ethical approval from the institutional ethics committee.
Okay.
That's more than sufficient for the retrospective studies.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now we'll go to the Sarabji for the further questions.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Ramya, just one more question from my side is that what are the key elements of protocol writing? What is protocol writing? Because you told, like, for your study, you also had a protocol, although it was an observational study. What are the key elements of your protocol?
Like in our project, ma'am?
Not in our.
In general.
What are the key sections you draft in a protocol?
Firstly, the protocol is developed after a research question is proposed and the concept has been developed. And it's like a blueprint for how the study is going to be conducted throughout the period. And the few sections of protocol, like title page, background information, study objectives, study design, methodology, statistical analysis, and results and discussion. These are the key parts of the protocol.
Yeah. So thanks, Ramya. And similarly, this is our planning part, right? So once you have your results, right, of your studies done and dusted, so you will be preparing clinical study report, right?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So which is the guideline followed for preparing clinical study report? And according to you, what are the sections those are picked from a protocol only? So which you can say, okay, this is the section which I can directly go and pick from a protocol.
Okay, the clinical study report. You asked me directly the sections which can be taken from the protocol to the CSR, right, ma'am?
Yeah, which you feel like, okay, I can take it from a protocol, right?
It's, the objectives of the study, and the title of the study, background information, and investigator and sponsor information, and the study design.
Yeah. And which guideline we follow to prepare a clinical study?
It's ICH E6 guideline is necessary for drafting the clinical study report. ICH is E6.
Yeah, okay. So, and another thing is like suppose tomorrow you already got a job, that's very good thing. So tomorrow while drafting some document, or maybe when you were doing your master program, so when you face some challenge, okay, you feel like I am stuck, right? I don't know what to do. So in that kind of a situation, when you feel like I'm clueless, I don't know what to do, so what would be your plan of action? How you will handle that when you feel like I don't know what to do, right?
Okay.
And we face such situation in life, right?
Yes, ma'am. I usually my first step in that kind of situation would be taking help from peer or my seniors or colleagues, and I will be asking them what where would I have done something wrong, or where can I learn, how can I learn to rectify the mistake at that point. This is my plan of action, to seek help from my peers.
So good, that's very good. And when we work or when we study, sometimes we get stressed, you will agree, right? We get stressed in a situation. So how you really, but you can't stop, you have to keep going, right?
Yes.
So how you really de-stress yourself, your way of de-stressing yourself?
I'm my usual principle to de-stress myself is the 5 rule of anxiety. It's like 5 things. Whenever I am in a extremely stressful situation, like if I'm having a final exam during my academics, if I'm having my final exams and I'm extremely extremely stressful, and I usually follow the 5 rule principle of anxiety. That's 5 things to see, and 4 things to physically feel one by one, and 3 things to hear, notice the surrounding sounds, and 2 things to smell, and 1 thing to taste. And these step one by one, it usually helps me every time in any kind of stressful situation. It helps me to de-stress myself. After I get calm gradually, eventually, and then I take deep breaths from my stomach, not through my lungs, and I try to take as possible as deep breaths from myself. And after that, I listen to some soothing music. This is my
way of handling the stress, right?
Yes.
Okay. So according to you, what could be the key responsibilities of a medical writer? Because a medical writer is a key part of a clinical research or a drug discovery. So according to you, what is his or her main responsibilities?
The main responsibility of a medical writer is to designing, drafting, and writing scientific documents, and communicating the clinical and scientific information in the required format. And the medical writer should work with the research team to present the data given in a given to the specific set of audience. Like it should target the audience each whenever the document is being drafted. And also a medical writer should make sure all the documents should be regulatory specific or client specific, should be adhere to the standards and principles of the guidelines, to which the good document can be produced. So I think these three are the responsibilities of a medical writer.
Yeah.
As far as
Thanks.
I'm-
Yeah, thanks, Ramya. That's all from my side. Do you have any question for me? So,
no,
Uh,
ma'am. I hope I'm not too cringe throughout the interview. And I'm really more scared for the mock interview than my original interview, ma'am. And I
no,
extremely thankful to you and Ajit Singh sir that I got the job because of you two guiding throughout the modules and helping us. Previously, before I joined the module, I have no idea how medical writing works in the clinical research department. And throughout your modules, I got to know step by step that what it will be and how it will be and how it's going to be in the medical writing or scientific writing. And I am extremely thankful to you too. And that's
oh,
all.
thank you so much. It's so good to know. So, Dr. Ajit, do you have any follow-up question? Then we can discuss.
No, I do not have the follow-up questions, but yes, thank you, Ramya, for making us proud. Definitely, it was our first
It's the
batch, and
best reward
it's the
when
best
someone
reward.
says that
It's the
I got
best reward. Yes, absolutely. It's the best reward. And
the best reward.
yes, exactly. And this was our first batch. And, I always get scared whenever I am launching anything through CliMed. Frankly, whenever, we do a lot of homework, we do a lot of market research, we do a lot of, industrial consultations before launching anything at CliMed. And, Sarabji knows that we are working on many other projects, and we did on the medical writing also. But I really felt that this medical writing course was extremely successful, and it went really well. And there are people who are really praising, and you guys, there are around 200 participants in this. And people have criticized a lot in between, like in 2,000 rupees they're not going to give anything, because outside it's 20,000, 30,000 and people. But we I think we have our
It was
strengths.
more a non-profit.
It was more as non-profit, but I'm really proud on my team, proud of my team, that we have Sarabji, we had Akshima, we have Dr. Afreen, we have
Yes.
Atis, and many other people who made it really successful and made it possible to conduct such a course, such a brilliant course, industry oriented course in just the pennies, in the pennies. So I'm really proud of all of our participants, and really good, really happy. So thank you very much, of course. And I would like to unmute for everyone now. If they have any kind of questions, they can come up with the questions. Our audience also, ask your questions. Anyone? You can unmute yourself now.
Dr. Ajit, even, once we are done with question answers, I have, noted few observations just for the, benefit of our audience. So
Yes,
which
sure.
I can share as well.
And one more thing, I have shared all these questions with all of the participants in the group, and I asked them to share the videos, audios of their answers, or in the written form, so everyone can attempt these questions and share with us. They can share their answers with us, and we can evaluate how they are answering and how they are prepared for the future interviews. So
Yes.
yeah, so if anyone has any questions, we can definitely take up the questions, and I invite all our viewers also on the YouTube. So we are coming up with the new batch of medical writing, and I request everyone to share it to your colleagues, to your peers, to your friends, whoever wants to join our next batch. The fees is 3,000, 2,999, but this is including the book material. Complete material is included. No need to pay extra for this time for the material. So that's why the fees is little increased, because we are covering all the material free of cost in this. And the course is going to start from the 3rd week of September, and you can register as soon as possible to the course. So guys, any questions from audience? Has no questions right now. And
Yes, sir.
Ramya was of
I have one
yes,
question,
Akshay.
sir, actually. Sir, while she was introducing herself, she was telling about her strength and weakness in a general aspect. So, is it necessary to talk about strength and weakness by ourselves, or shall we wait for the interviewer to ask that question?
Actually, I
Okay.
think
Yes, Sarabji.
I can answer you. There's no harm if you even, talking by yourself, but, it's totally up to you, like how you want to introduce yourself. That's why it is an open-ended question, is that introduce yourself, right? But that's also a good point. Like you can wait for a person to ask you that specific question. Don't throw too much of information, right? But at the same time, keep your introduction interesting. So is it helpful?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, like I have one more question. Sometimes in interview, they might ask, "What are your interests?" Like they just ask, "What are your interests?" It's like an open-ended question. So shall we ask in a answer it in a technical way or answer it in a general way? Like my interest is listening to music, or shall we tell them like my interest is in research field? So what
So
should be the
see,
way of answering?
that I will give you an example of Ramya here. Ramya handled this question very intelligently, I would say. So
Yes.
because who is hiring you, definitely they are more interest, they are basically evaluating you according to their job description, right? Correct? You will agree, right? So when I asked Ramya, like, what is her interest or hobbies, what she is doing in her free time, she said she is interested in writing stories, right? In fact, one of her story has been published. So basically she connected her interest with her JD also, like she's already doing the writing. So it's good, like if you can maintain a balance, right? Okay, your interest, your hobby is listening music, and same time it is also good if you can talk around. It's like, okay, I'm very intrigued person. I try to learn new things, or I like reading research articles, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
should try to connect that.
We should try to connect, because ultimately, your interview is like, it's a discussion, it's a conversation, right? Which is
Yes,
happening, which is same time is both of you are trying to understand like how a good fit I am in a job. Same time, the person who is taking an interview is trying to evaluate like how good fit you are for their role, right? So it's
yes,
a
ma'am.
mutual. So it's
Okay.
always good, I wrote this point from Ramya, is like she handled this question in a very good way. Another
Yes.
example I would like to quote you, when I asked her like what was the difficult situation in her life and what kept her going on. When she was telling like, her father was in hospital, which was very difficult situation for anyone to be in. She gave one very good thing, is us that her responsibility kept her going on. Anyone who wanted us to be part of their team, if we are responsible, they are hearing from us like we are responsible. So definitely they are going to think like, okay, this person is going to be a reliable team member. So connecting your, general question answer to your technical thing, ultimately to your JD, is a,
Yeah.
brilliant approach, I would say.
Absolutely.
Okay, ma'am.
And
Thank you.
when it was about the introduction, so it should not be very short as just your name and you are that I'm Dr. Ajit Singh, I'm from Delhi. It's not be like that. It's not be that much short, and it's not be the longer as 2 to 3 minutes. But it should have some content. Okay, it should have some content that it should be interesting. You are talking about yourself. You are talking, if you're talking about your if you're talking about your hobby also along with that, that's okay. But it should be a brief. Okay, it should be a brief. You are talking about strength and that weaknesses. That's okay, but it should be brief. It should not be longer to 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but it should not be as short as I'm telling that my name and just my place. That's all. So
yeah, And you can highlight your achievement. We all have our own sort of achievements. So that's why, Dr. Ajit, I gave them an exercise when we were doing our session. I gave them an exercise that list down your achievements. So that generally they are not in our mind, but we all have a lot of achievements because we are coming from such a brilliant qualifications, right? So you are from science background. So I gave them an exercise that ask your friends like what they think that it is your plus or what they think is that you have achieved in your life. So list down that, and that you can talk around in your introduction. That's a good way to go in.
Yes, absolutely.
And that will give you
Thank you.
confidence also that this is done by me.
Yeah, and
Sure.
and if I'm not wrong, if we can add Sarabji asked one question at the end, like, do you have any questions for us? So I mean, that's a good approach. Not not to ask sometimes, but you can ask about the expectations, what they are expecting from you exactly. You can ask about their expectations. You can ask about what they are exactly looking in you. Those things you can ask. There is no harm, and it will make that more interactive, and it will end up with a good sense with the interviewer.
Yes.
Okay. So there is a question: what are the points we should share during the interview, or what we should not share during the interview? Generally.
So as such, there is no general guidance. I'll give you one example, like talk from your heart. Don't make it feel like you're fabricating, you're trying to be outsmart. So like connecting with your personality, connecting with yourself, right, is a good way to do that. And don't say that which you are it's not your personality. Don't speak about those things. So that's the do and don'ts. And even if you're nervous initially, when we started interview, Ramya was also a little nervous, right? Have you noticed?
Yes, ma'am.
So but same time, start giving a message to your brain is like, no one is judging me. Even the person who is taking your interview, they even don't hear you word to word. They just look at your confidence. Try to slowly come into a confidence. Like, try to feel like we are having a dialogue. Don't feel like someone is interrogating. Don't keep that thing in your mind like I am being interrogated. So always keep in mind that the interview is a mutual thing. It's a dialogue happening between the two parties. That's it. But later, Ramya, you were enjoying the questions also, right? I sensed
she has
that.
handled brilliantly. Yes.
And it's okay if you are clueless about some question, you don't know. It's impossible for anyone to know everything. I even don't be knowing 100 of things, which you guys will be knowing better than me. Like Ramya was telling that the stress mechanism 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that was new to me, right? So it's okay if you don't know something. It's completely fine, right? You can pass that question, but if you know even a slightest about that, answer that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
anything
Anything else,
else?
guys? Any other questions from your side? Okay, I think nothing. Sarabji, you can add on.
So I almost, what were my observation? I talked, while linking it to the audience question is that, we started with good way. The confidence Ramya was having good, So, but initially for a first, when she was introducing herself, she was a little nervous, but she handled it. Slowly she transitioned. In between she also, that's the reason I think she started talking about her weakness and strength is that somewhere she felt like what to speak. So, but whatever was in her mind, she started speaking it. So that was good way to handle it. And another thing good with her was that her technical knowledge was good.
Good.
You know, so you can the moment she answered 2-3 questions, the way she answered 2-3 questions was exact. You know, and also the general questions she was talking about more about her personality, right? That's why she was able to speak on it. So that was also good thing in her. Also, you know, few of her questions she couldn't answer very well, right? That's also totally fine. That's what I said, is that, you know, if you don't know, it's okay, but she attempted those questions as well, right?
Yeah.
Like for ICA GCP, she tried, you know, like, okay, it is for right, safety, well-being of subject, that's fine, but why it started is to be a, you know, having a globalization of guidelines for a pharma, right? So that was the answer. But it's okay, whatever she was in her mind, she answered. Similarly, guideline, you know, it should not be E6. E6 is GCP guideline. For CSR is that we are following E3 template, right?
Okay.
So that's fine, you know, because you handle the rest of the questions very well, so one can easily ignore, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what example I wanted to share with the audience, is that no one gave, you know, 100% accurate answer. Even I can't. Even I think Dr. Ajit can't give 100% correct
Absolutely
answers.
not.
Not. So how you are presenting yourself, that's all. And because she answered one question like, I'm a responsible person, so anyone want to take up that person in their team who is responsible and hardworking. And when she said that, you know, when you feel clueless how to do in a situation like you are drafting some document, that was her answer was also like quite closer, is that I will talk to my peers, right? So it means she know her way out, like how to make things work. So that are all my observation. You know, she talked honestly. So
Yes.
Dr. Ajit can also share his thoughts.
No, definitely. She was talking positively, and her responses were, you know, totally connected with her personality and how she thinks. And technical questions, you know, most of the questions she answered really well. So 1 or 2 questions can be ignored. So, I mean, that's not a problem at all. I really feel, you know, it was a, you know, a really great attempt by her.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so if no more questions, then we can wind up.
Yeah, we can. It's a long day.
Yeah, it's a long day, frankly, for all of us. Okay, so thank you very much, Ramya, and thank you, Sarabji. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And these recordings we will premiere on Sunday evening. So
Yeah.
you know, then we'll premiere it for. Okay, so thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Take care. Good night.
Yeah. Good night,
Thank you, sir.
everyone. Bye.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
ma'am.
everyone. Take care. Take care. Take care, guys. Thank you.